Ms. Ramirez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Going to do probable cause, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. Okay. The officer was dispatched to a driving while intoxicated. As the officer observed, the defendant failed to maintain a single lane, drive 20 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Traffic stop was conducted. The officer observed signs of intoxication, namely strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from the vehicle, and the defendant gave inconsistent answers as to how many drinks she had prior to driving. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, and one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.08 and 0.08.
So you said all she had was an odor of alcohol?
Anything?
Or
yes, Your Honor, there was a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage from the vehicle and on her person. And then she gave inconsistent answers. She did state she had consumed drinks prior to driving, just inconsistent as to how many. And the officer also observed a failure to maintain a single lane, as well as her driving below the speed limit, 20 miles below the speed limit.
All right, Ms. Ramirez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Are you a citizen of the United States, ma'am?
No, sir.
Are you in this country with or without permission, ma'am?
I had it, but not no more.
You know what happens if you go to jail? What happens?
Go to immigration then.
I'm sorry?
The immigration will take me to Mexico.
Right. Do you have any clue how long you will sit in jail waiting for that to happen?
No, sir.
You're so behind, you will probably sit in custody for about 9 months, perhaps more, waiting for any of that to happen. And if you want to bond out from an immigration jail, 15 grand, 20 grand, just don't violate these conditions. That's all we're asking. Don't drive. You don't have a license, do you?
No, I don't.
You're not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive.
I had my driving license before. I had it.
She had a driver's license, Your Honor, just she couldn't
It's
renew it.
gone.
Correct.
You don't have one now. Just because you had one 5 years ago, 2 years ago, if you don't have one now, you can't drive. Doesn't matter. If you show me that you have a valid Texas driver license, we'll happily let you drive. But until you do, you can't drive. Can you run your license, Alex, please?
Yes,
Do you mind?
I'm
And
showing that it says eligible on our end.
Do you have a license?
License, driver
A
license.
Texas driver license.
I had it, not at this moment. Well, it's not valid, but I had it before.
It expired, Your Honor. It wasn't taken away from her for any violation or anything. She
No.
just couldn't renew it.
Right.
No, they're showing it's valid, but I don't know. I wouldn't get into a car unless you 100% know that you do. And I would probably call DPS to find out, okay? Because if you go out there and you start driving and you get pulled over, officers will see that you're charged with DWI. It could be a recipe for disaster. So you have to know 100% before you do or not. I'll give you the number to the driver license division where to call, but that's what I would do. So I'm going to order you not to drive unless you have a valid license and insurance, though. You must also have insurance as well before you start driving.
I always have it with me.
And Judge, just to confirm what counsel said, on the driver's license I have, it says the expiration date is November 22nd, 2009. So it does appear it's just expired, but it's not due to any suspension or anything like that.
So it's expired.
It's expired. So
Okay, yeah, then you can't drive. Here, for what it's worth, I will give you this number. You can call them. Perhaps they can tell you how to get it back if you can. If you show me that you have it and you can get it, I'll take this off, okay? But don't drink. I am ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. Do you understand? Alex? Any prior to DWIs?
no priors, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Ms. Ramirez, you have a lawyer. Good job having a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court. but you must stay in touch with him and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court.
Okay.
If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're not responding to his phone calls, I will issue a warrant. So just don't drink, don't use drugs, and don't drive until you have a license, and then we're all happy. Okay? Okay, please, we'll have you sign this, sign that, and that, and then you guys